Mohammed, so we are doing the podcast and we're going to have a few questions regarding the business experience. We're going to start with the truth about the car business.
Sure.
What are some of the costly buying mistakes that a customer can make?
People always look for what they want. They don't look for what they need. That's what I
truth.
think it's a very common mistake they do.
What would you say when a customer comes and they are undecided when it comes to a new car or a used car?
Okay. So when this question in the customer's head, they should know how much they want to spend. On the new car, definitely you'll be paying more, and the used car you'll be paying less because the car already have some depreciation. So I would say people who smart, they always look for something used, and people who are more comfort focusing, they want new.
Okay, understand. What are some of the buying myth regarding a cash purchase?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. Some people, they think buying cash is the king. They think when you buy cash, you are winning the deal. Some people, they assume dealership, they make money when you finance.
Exactly.
But it's absolutely wrong. It depends on your situation. If you have a great credit, I would definitely recommend you to go for financing.
I'm gonna switch the subject a little bit. You know, this is more of a Latino community,
Yeah.
and you know you have a lot of Latinos. You've been helping a lot of Latinos. What would you say, even if it's not a Latino, for a first-time buyer as an immigrant?
Mhm.
What's the direction? How you take that?
Okay, so I know you were specific on the Latino community, but here is this the country for immigrant. We got a lot of people from all over the world, and all of them, they're kind of similar.
Yes.
When they step into this country, they think buying a car. I absolutely understand that, but the thing is, before you buy a car, you need to go through some steps by
Correct.
yourself. For example, buying a car, probably you're looking for a $40,000 car, or maybe at least a $30,000 car, but you don't have that money. You are asking for loan, but you have to understand, when you're looking for a loan, you need to do a little step before that. You need to have a credit card, at least $1,000 $2,000 credit card. You should pay on time, and then when you have a history, then you should go for financing on a new car
That's great.
or on a used car.
Awesome. Now, can you tell me about a success story about somebody that you help and you have instilled in your head, like something that happens and it was successful? You feel like it was a great experience for you and the customer.
Yes, of course. I'll definitely share you one.
You don't have to say a name.
No. Thank you. No, a few days back, there was a Latino couple came here in this store, and they were sharing. They don't have any social.
Mm,
They have tax ID, and I was telling them it's not a problem. Actually, if you look at the difference between social and tax ID, it's same 9-digit ID. But when you have a social, you also get benefit from the government. When
Correct.
you have a tax ID, you just have the ID to pay tax. You don't get the social benefit,
Exactly.
which they had. So initially they were like very concerned whether they will get a loan or not.
mhm.
I guided them correctly, because when you have a tax ID, you have to come up with a pay stub, and you have to make sure you're getting enough money from your work. And then when you are able to show that to the bank, it is not that difficult to get a loan for a person who's working on a tax ID. So they were working at a Burger King. They were making, the husband and wife both, when they worked together, they were making like, all together they were making like $1,000 a week,
Wow.
500 each. And then I told them, if you can buy a car here, if you buy a car, and instead of depending on a job, you can do your own business
Smart.
in
Very
New
smart.
York, or even if you go out of the five borough, you can do Uber, and you can way more money than you working at Burger King. So they were like a little bit confused, but they wanted a car for their need. But eventually they followed my decision and they started into the TLC work. And guess what? They few days back, I saw the guy, and he was inviting me for his house for the
Amazing.
dinner. And when I heard the story, they are way better than before, and that made me really, really happy. And they thinking to buy a house.
That's amazing. So not only you sold them a car, but you gave them a business advice that nobody expect that to get from a person in a dealership. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So now, talking about family, since you already mentioned that subject, how a vehicle can change a family's experience or life? What you think a vehicle, buying a car, could do for a family?
So, such as New York is mostly populated city. You can see here we have a lot of people than the
Yes.
work. So if you need to find a work, sometime you have to step out of your city. Sometime you have to step out of your neighborhood. Imagine if you don't have the car and you are not living around the MTA facility, then how you gonna work and how you gonna make money to
Correct.
survive in the life?
Correct.
So definitely a car can change someone's life. And think about emergency situation, like somebody's sick, so you need to take to the hospital,
Amazing.
or sometime you need to go for groceries. Buying a car is not a fantasy anymore. I think that's a need.
A need. Amazing. Amazing. And you were mentioning your free business advice. So now, let's say somebody wants to start the TLC business. Everybody kind of wanting to jump into that. What does somebody needs to do to get into the TLC business?
The first thing first, they need to have a TLC license. They have to go through the TLC education. When you go through that, they give you a TLC license. To work in the New York City, you must need the TLC license so that you can work for TLC.
Okay. Any other steps or?
Not really. Once you have the TLC license, that's pretty much you are ready for the TLC business.
Amazing. Amazing. One last subject. I want to talk about myth versus reality.
Sure.
Let me get some APR myth.
When you have bad credit, you get the worst APR, worst financing rate. That's one of the bad myth in the APR, because it's not always truth that when you have not a good credit and you get a huge interest rate is not always correct. Sometimes when you have a good history of paying
Exactly.
paying your credit card on time or paying your last car on time, that can give you good APR as well. It's
So we
not
will
true.
agree that having a strong history is better than having a high number in the credit.
That's true.
Awesome. The dealer profits. A lot of people focus more on dealer profits.
So I was telling you, a lot of people, they think dealership make money when you finance.
You make 2,000 on yourself.
right. But this is absolutely wrong, because it's not always correct. It's not absolutely correct. Dealership make money when you finance. Dealership have their own margin from the manufacturing and then the selling price. But when you financing your car, you basically dealing with the bank, and we are just the seller. When you buy a cash, we get the money from you. When you finance the car, we get the money from bank. That's how it works. It's not actually correct that you make money when you finance.
Awesome. Japanese brands.
Oh, they are the GOAT.
What would you say that? Why?
Because look around you, Japanese, they took themselves so high in terms of perfection. So even if I talk about Japanese watch, they're good because of their reliability, and all the machine Japan made, they have their own value. So definitely all the brands you look around, which are from Japan, they absolutely have a landmark. And guess what? Toyota is the GOAT.
Yes, we are. The biggest one, in my opinion.
Sure.
End of the month deals. Was the myth and reality in that? Because there's some people that will not purchase a car unless it's the 31st or the 30th.
That's true. Being in this business, I see this kind of people a lot. Back in the days, it was maybe like that.
Yes.
That dealership used to give them offer end of the month because they have to close the sales report. But nowadays, is no longer like that. So dealership in the beginning of the month, they usually offer better deal than end of the month, because in the beginning of the month they have no pressure. They used to give the car way better, give the car in way better deal than the end of the month. End of the month, we see a lot of people. That's when the demand goes high.
Yes, yes, true. Last question. Financing. A lot of people have a lot of financing questions. What can you say about reality and some of the myths?
Financing is something what can boost your life. In United States, the system is like that. When you don't have a credit, when you cannot build a credit, everything gonna go wrong.
Yes.
So when you have a good credit, you can find insurance better. That's the first thing I would say. When you have good credit, everybody would like to give you loan on better interest rate.
Yes.
So it's important for you to build your credit so that you can have your best rate on your best thing.
So you saying that you'd rather have $1 million in credit than $1 million in cash?
I'll have the both.
Well, Mohammed, thank you so much for being with us today. Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me at Fordham Toyota, and you know Fordham Toyota is the best. We try to be very honest with the customers, to show the car, to show them the best option. And you decide where you're coming. You should come Fordham Toyota. Fordham Toyota is the best who can help you out in the car business. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You already know. Come visit us, and we guarantee you're going to leave here with a happy smile. Thank you.